It's not often that a single signing has the ability to transform a team's fortunes completely, but Bruno Fernandes has undoubtedly done just that for Manchester United and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. In fact, in many ways, you could say there have been two distinct versions of Ole's United, before Fernandes and after Fernandes. 2019-20 is the best illustration of this. Before he signed in the January window, United averaged just 1.5 points per game and 1.5 goals per game. And once he came in, both of these numbers shot up to 2.28 and 2.14 respectively. But how exactly has Bruno Fernandes helped to transform United? In this video, we take a look. Before Fernandes came in, the 10 position was a major concern for Manchester United. Two of their major candidates were Jesse Lingard and Juan Mata. In Jesse Lingard, they had a player who was never quite at the required level for United and never gave the required output for a player in the 10 position. Juan Mata, on the other hand, has been aging for a while and was past his best, not having the required dynamism to provide a consistent threat from the position. In addition, when he did play, Solskjaer preferred to have him out wide on the right. As a result, United would often get goal-scoring opportunities by sitting deep initially, then springing forward on the counter, often using Pogba's passing range from deep to find the forwards. This was because in controlled phases, without a high-quality 10, they would struggle to break down defenses, so this circumvented that. But we did at times see Pogba pushed up into the 10 position, as from higher up, he has the ability to find the defense unlocking pass, or even strike from distance to make the difference. But the problem with this is that often it meant that the double pivot would consist of two of McTominay, Fred and Matic. All are capable enough midfielders on the defensive end of things, but none have the ball progression ability of a Pogba, meaning that United fans were often frustrated, as possession here would lead to a series of side-to-side passes. Enter Bruno Fernandes. Having a capable 10 has completely changed the options available to Solskjaer. Against smaller sides in the league, where United are expected to dominate possession, Pogba can play in the double pivot with Fernandes in the 10 position. This means that Pogba can afford to stay deeper and focus on being the deep playmaker, doing the majority of ball progression into the wingers, but more often into Fernandes himself, where he can then take over. This has occasionally been the case against top 6 opposition as well, and having two top-tier midfielders in the midfield 3 means they can now keep possession more efficiently even against the top 6, rather than solely depend on the transition. Last season, United only had 50% possession or more against the top 6 teams in 3 out of 10 matches. So far this season, that number is 2 out of 4. But they can still adapt where more solidarity is needed. Fred and McTominay can play as the double pivot, and Rashford can play wide left if they wish to transition quickly. Alternatively, if they want a bigger possession base, Pogba can start wide left and subsequently drift in centrally to help support in possession phases. But of course, Fernandes brings so much more to the team than just filling a position, so let's look at his tactical profile. From deeper regions, Fernandes can look to stay higher up the pitch, lurking between the lines and constantly looking to create a passing channel. A crucial difference between Fernandes and Pogba when playing the 10 positions is that Pogba is much quicker to move deep, to get onto the ball immediately and affect the game. Fernandes, on the other hand, is happy at times to stay higher between the lines, looking to pin the opposition's double pivot deeper. He's also willing to make runs into the centre forward position and beyond, and particularly when playing with Martial, who likes to drop deeper and can even look to get on the end of chip balls over the top. But one of Fernandes' biggest weapons is his perpetual movement, always looking to create a passing angle. He's also very willing to drop deeper into the midfield to look to get onto the ball. So, teams are unsure whether he will run in behind, stay between the lines, or drop deeper, making it difficult to assess a man to pick him up. With most sides, attacking midfielders do not see much of the ball, instead remaining high to finish off moves. But for United, they look to get the ball into Bruno more often than anyone else, due to his ability to find space in several different ways. In addition, his 80 touches per game outstrip most of his contemporaries. And from these deeper regions, Fernandes is not just looking to retain possession, as always he's looking to make a difference every way he can. We often see him attempt needled passes into the forwards ahead of him, and in fact, he's one of United's chief ball progressors. But he also looks to unleash the likes of Rashford and Greenwood, who makes runs as soon as he is on the ball, and his long raking passes often find them in space. This is also a skill that makes him lethal on the transition, looking to release players early. As a result, he plays the second most long balls for the side per 90. And crucially, he has the confidence to attempt high-risk passes to open up the game, despite the numerous failures that come with this. In fact, Edinson Cavani is the only outfield player with a lower pass completion rate for the team. As Solskjaer said himself, he's a risk-taker, he has courage and he's brave enough to make mistakes. He has the X factor. But high up the pitch is where Fernandes does most of his damage. Between the lines, he has great spatial awareness of where his teammates are, meaning that he can play one-touch passes around the corners. But he's also excellent at consistently being on the half turn, looking to receive and turn in one motion so he can shoot on sight. And when his preferred zone 14 is occupied, Fernandes doesn't tend to attack the box too much, only taking just over 3 touches there per 90. Instead, he will drift out to either flank to cause an overload with his wide man and fall back. If Rashford or Martial is wide, this then often triggers them to move into the box instead, where he can look to find them with a cross. And off the ball, Fernandes is just as crucial. When Pogba, for example, played in the 10 position, he was much more passive in defense, staying deeper to cover passing lanes. With one forward unable to lead an effective press alone, United would then drop deep to cover and then begin transitions from deep. Fernandes, on the other hand, is front foot, springing forward to create a front 2 on the press and dragging the rest of the team into a higher press as a result. It also means that when they do win the ball, they are in a better position to transition, as they are high up the pitch. As Gary Neville said, he is the leader in that team, leader by example, leader by what he does when he gives the ball away. He sprints right after it. United fans will be delighted by Fernandes' influence early on in his United career, and will be hoping that this form continues and that he may be the man to bring the Premier League back to Old Trafford after a long wait.